What's going on, and welcome back to another less than 5-minute gear review. And in this video we are going to be going over the AWS Ifak pouch and the AWS Ifak insert. Now when it comes down to it, this video is going to be a little bit different than the other less than 5-minute gear reviews that I have, because I am going to actually go over the setup of the Ifak insert, how it goes into this system, and then also show you what it looks like on a belt system and help articulate the why behind why I think this is one of the best pouches when it comes to an individual med kit that you can have on your kit. So with that said, the AWS Ifak pouch is going to cost you about $22, and the Ifak insert is going to cost you about $20. Now, like I said, I do think this is one of the best systems when it comes to a individual med kit, because with this pouch you can offset this off of your kit and hang it from your belt, which is going to open up a lot of MOLLE space on your belt for other mission essential, duty position, and any type of equipment that you may want to take on the objective with you, so that way you can complete that mission. You're just opening up that space on the belt and reallocating things and pushing things around, so that way you can do essentially more with less, but you're just moving this pouch out of the way, so that way it opens up for more essential equipment. So with that said, when it comes to the setup of this pouch, you do have your exterior, which is going to be this Cordura material. You do have MOLLE looping, so that way in the event that you want to put anything on top of this in place of a dump pouch, you can put that on top of this med kit. And then you have the Velcro on the front, so that way if you want to throw med flag or cross and then your blood type, you can do that as well. Now with that said, the way I have this configured underneath my dump pouch. All the guys that I'm working with are all running their med kits on their belts, and they all know that mine is underneath my dump pouch instead of sitting right next to it. So a couple of guys are transitioning over to this, so it is something to take into consideration, because it is awesome pouch in enabling you to open up your belt for more equipment. And when I say more equipment, I'm not talking about having bulky and large pieces of equipment. I'm just saying it's opening it up so that way if you want to run frags or flashbangs or, let's say, charges, whatever the case may be, or special tools for your mission set, you have the ability to do that. So the back side of this pouch is pretty simple and straightforward. You have just this elastic material on the back side, so that way this will stretch and give to the Ifak insert when you put it on when you put this insert inside of this pouch. One thing you do have to be careful about is this only will stretch so far, so you don't want to overpack this Ifak insert. And then last, for the pouch itself, you have these nylon straps that are going to loop around your belt. So one will go around the front, one will go around the back, and you can set this up on either a 1.5 or a 1 3/4 inch belt. I haven't had any issues with either of those. You do just have to be careful, because you want to have good contact with that Velcro. So it's going to fold over one side, it'll Velcro into itself, and then it will Velcro back over. So that way it stays in place, it's not going to move, and then you have Velcro on the back to replace the Velcro on that exterior belt if you're running a 2-belt system. So do take that into consideration. I do think that this is an awesome setup. It does a really good job on the belt and opening that entire belt up. So when it comes to the actual Ifak insert, you do have limited space, but if you focus on I shouldn't say the fundamentals, but the key components of march and treating a casualty, whether you have to do self-aid or buddy aid, this definitely will open up and address the things that you need to have, but it will prevent you from overpacking or just keeping it mission essential. So we're talking about march. You have massive hemorrhaging, so you have your gauze and combat gauze, and then your airway, so you have nasal pharyngeal, and then also setting up your needle D's. In the event that you get hit in the chest, you have the ability to open up that airway and prevent that tension pneumothorax from getting really intense. And then you have your casualty care card. Now, one thing that I think would be awesome and an improvement on this pouch is just making this actual pouch either a little bit bigger, or putting an additional elastic pocket on the backside, so that way you can put an IV kit on the back of this, or you can put a survival blanket to prevent hypothermia. So if they had another pocket on the backside of that for those two items, I think that this would definitely set itself apart in the long run. So with that said, this is what the actual Ifak insert looks like. You just have your panel that you can put everything on, you have double molly, or you could say double molly, but double looping on this side with your elastic, and then you have a single loop of elastic on this side. This side's split, so you can open things up and put more equipment on this side, but either way, I would just keep this as streamlined as possible and just focus on those key components of March, so that way you're not overpacking this. With how I packed this up, or before I get to that, actually, when you flip this over, you have your pull tabs on either side, or pull handles, and then you also have your closing strap, and that just velcros right into place. Super easy to employ and open up, nothing too crazy when it comes down to it. When it comes to the actual setup of this single loop side, I like putting my chest seals on this side. And we're definitely getting more into the setup portion of this. That's pretty much it when it comes to the actual review portion. So this is going to be more of the setup portion. So I put my chest seals on this side, and then I take my casualty care card and I put that right on top of that. And then on top of this, I'm going to throw my Sharpie marker as well as my nasal pharyngeal. Now, this can get pretty tight when it comes down to trying to pack everything in, so do take that into consideration. You can run out of real estate real quick. So you can just run this on, or run components and pieces through just one elastic loop, or you can run it through more. It's going to be completely up to you. I would recommend at least doing two, just so that way it helps hold things in place. So I'll do this. We'll set that one up there, and then this one right there. So that way you can pull. Either way, it's going to come out. So that's going to be your right hand side of this pouch, and then your left hand side is going to be your gauze. You're going to throw that on the bottom, and then that way those sectioned elastic loops on the top, you can put your needle D's through those. And then you put your combat gauze right next to that on the left hand side. Push that all the way in. And then for these, I run one through the middle and then one through either one of these ends. It just helps with putting everything together, and that way your elastic isn't trying to pull the needle D in one direction. If you put both of these through the same loop, it'll actually kind of want to pinch these together and pull them towards the center. I don't like that happening because it then prevents this from closing and getting as streamlined as possible. I would always try and get this as streamlined as possible, so that way it's going to be easier to put inside of this pocket. Even with that elastic, it is a tight fit, so you do have to take that into consideration. So once I get to this point, fold it all up, take that elastic, or that exterior strap, push that over, and then that is what it looks like when you have everything packed together. So from there, you're just going to throw this into the pouch. I would recommend put this nylon strap, or the strap side for your pull strap, in to open up in this entire Ifak. Put this in first, just because if you put it in the other way, you're going to be fighting that elastic strap to put it in here, and it's going to want to open up on you, and then you're just going to fight this entire thing to go together. So with that said, set that up that way, and then just kind of going one side to the next as you put this entire thing together. Now, like I said, if you overpack this, and this is getting to the point where it is almost overpacked, you can still pull this out, but it can get a little difficult when it comes down to it. And like you can see, take the time, set these components up so that way they're not trying to grab onto the actual pouch or that channel as you're putting everything together. So that just pushes right through, and once you get to this point, you can flip it over, grab that tab, and put it in place. Now, for the sake of the video, I'm not going to pull this out right now because I don't want to take up too much time, but that's what it's going to look like when you have everything put together. You have your pull tabs on either side, so you can employ this from either hand, and then you can set this up on your belt. Now, when it comes to the actual setup on the belt, you have your belt, and I like setting this up right in between my pouch for flashbangs or smoke if you're running really small smoke like the Enola Gay, or you're going to use that for a multi-tool, whatever the case may be. You have that flashbang pouch right there. I like putting this right in between that flashbang pouch, and then you open up, instead of having this sit right here, you have this right here, so then it opens up for all that. It opens up all that space for more mission essential equipment or things that you may want to take because of your duty position, whether you have 40mm rounds you want to take, charges you want to take, whatever the case may be. If you're EOD, if you're in a leadership role and there's something that you need to take administratively, you're opening up this little bit of space to be able to take something else on and set it up on this belt. So take that into consideration. That is pretty much the big why when it comes to this pouch over a lot of the other pouches that are out there. So from here, you're going to open up those nylon straps, run that onto the back side, and then this loop side of the Velcro is going to fold over first and Velcro into the actual belt itself. And you have Velcro on both sides of this, so this will fit nice and tight. And then you're going to Velcro back over and then on top of the exterior of that loop. So that way you have that MOLLE on the exterior, and then you have the Velcro replacing that Velcro on the inside as well. So do the same for this side. Pull that over, and there you go. So that's what it'll look like when it's actually on your belt. And then right here in the middle of that, I take my dump pouch and I'll set that up right there, so then that way, yes, it covers it up, but everybody that I work with knows that I have my dump pouch right, or I have my med kit underneath my dump pouch, so that way if they need to access it because I've been incapacitated, they have the ability to access it. Now, with that said, I haven't addressed tourniquets. The reason I haven't addressed tourniquets is, yeah, you can put those tourniquets on the pouch and then fit them behind the dump pouch itself as well, but I would rather, and I think it's smarter to put the tourniquets on the front of your belt, because when the tourniquets are on the front of the belt, your hands, if whatever reason you are disabled and one of your arms isn't working, one of your hands isn't working, you have the ability to grab these Ifak or these tourniquets with either hand and be able to employ that tourniquet with one hand. Now I like the cat tees because they're a lot easier to apply when it comes to arm injuries, but then I also like the soft tees because I feel that they are a little bit more secure fit, especially on legs. You can apply more pressure, and there has been a lot of innovation when it comes to making these things super tough to break, but I prefer not having a plastic windlass when I'm trying to crank that thing down onto a leg. So I usually have a cat tee on my belt, and then I have a soft tee on my plate carrier, or I just have two cat tees. So that way both tourniquets are front loaded onto your plate carrier, so that way you have easy access to either one of your tourniquets. And then in the event that you're incapacitated, it's right there front and center for whoever's coming up to provide buddy aid for you. So when it comes down to it, the why behind this entire setup is to set this up so that way you can provide self-aid for yourself. In the event that you find yourself in a situation where you have to cut away your plate carrier and you're still trying to fight from your belt, you can still fight from your belt with your med kit and have all the med supplies that you need in the event that you get injured, and you can self-aid and buddy aid with this entire system. So take that into consideration. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment. We'll answer any questions that you have. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.